Maybe we have been evaluating maths concepts the wrong way. Since the time I have started these activities with my child, educational psychologists call this I ask my child to do only two things. This works because brain is now working in reverse direction. You know what? As parents, we have all been there. Our child solves 10 math questions correctly. We smile, close the notebook, and think, wow, chapter done, concept clear. But is it really? Or has our child simply learned to solve that particular type of questions correctly? Because solving questions and understanding a concept are two very different things. I realized it the hard way with my own son. Since then, I have started using a simple reverse technique. It takes 10 minutes more time, but it makes maths far more engaging and uncovers the concept gaps far better and far more faster than even the longest worksheets. If you have ever wondered whether your child truly understands maths or is just getting the answers right, this one habit might completely change the way you teach. And the best part, it's a fundamental way of learning. You can use it for decimals, algebra, calculus, trigonometry, almost any maths concepts your child will ever get to learn. Alright, let's get started. A few months ago, my child was learning subtraction. Like most parents, I first explained the concept, gave him a set of questions, and he solved all of them correctly. Obviously, I thought he understood the concept, but then I thought of doing something interesting. Instead of giving him some more questions, I said, now you become the teacher. Make 5 subtraction questions for me. He immediately started writing. The first few questions looked fine. Then suddenly he wrote 12 minus 15. That one question made by my child told me something that 20 correct answers never could. He knew how to subtract, but he didn't understand when subtraction makes sense. He had learned the procedure, but the concept wasn't completely clear. And that's when a thought struck me. Maybe we have been evaluating maths concepts the wrong way. We keep asking children to solve questions, but very rarely do we ask them to create questions. So now, as a habit, after doing a new maths concept and exercise, I asked my child to do only two things. First, make 5 different types of questions on the topic. Second, play the role of a teacher and check my solution on same or other sets of questions. Here, I make deliberate mistakes. With maths, mistakes can be done either at rule level or calculation level or both. For example, if question is 99875 plus 7506, I will mess up at rule level and will place ones place digit under tens place. Or I will follow the rule correctly but will do mistake in calculation. Then I ask, did I solve it correctly? What is fascinating is not whether he says right or wrong. What is fascinating is his way of explanation. The moment children start explaining, those explanations reveal where exactly they understood and where exactly they are still confused. Sometimes they will catch the mistake immediately, sometimes they will say it's wrong but can't explain why. Sometimes they will completely miss the mistake. And making questions is even more revealing. Suppose your child has learned fractions. Instead of giving him 10 more questions to solve, simply ask, can you make 5 fraction questions for me? Now notice something carefully. Do they create fractions with a numerator smaller than the denominator every single time because they think that's the only correct fraction? The question they create become a window to their thought process. This works because brain is now working in reverse direction. When a child solves a question, he is following the path someone else has designed. But when he is asked to create a question, he will have to think about rules, logic, conditions, and relationships. And that is much deeper thinking. Educational psychologists call this the generation effect. We remember and understand ideas much better when we generate them ourselves instead of consuming them. And when you ask your child to become teacher, something interesting happens. They stop focusing only on trying to complete worksheets. They start to take active interest in understanding the concept. The activity feels like a game. They enjoy catching your mistakes. They feel responsible for teaching you. Without realizing, they start to revise the chapter at a much more deeper level. Since the time I have started these activities with my child, math sessions have become very interesting. Instead of him asking how many more questions are left to be solved, he asks me, "Can I make one more question for you?" And honestly, that's when I realized that learning has started. So, parents, here is a small challenge for you. The next time your child finishes a maths chapter, instead of giving them one mock worksheet, ask them to be a teacher. Ask them to create 5 different types of questions for you. Then ask them to check 5 different questions that you have solved, making 2 or 3 intentional and deliberate mistakes. Within 10 minutes, I promise you, you will get to know the exact concept gaps that needs to be bridged for your child. Alright, with this, I am signing out. I hope today's video will add some value to your parenting approach.